What's up, everyone? So good to see you. I'm Drew. I recently hosted the APM Summit where we had hundreds of students come and learn from associate product managers like me at 12 top tech companies across the industry, including Google, LinkedIn, and Salesforce. I know not everyone was able to attend, so this is my rewind video that you can watch at your leisure. Before we start, I do want to call out a few things. So, first and foremost, this event could not have happened without the help of our 17 amazing APMs that volunteered their time not only at the event, but also leading up to the event and creating all of this great content for all of you. Second, neither me nor the other APMs are officially representing any of these companies in any way. Program details are subject to change, and always reach out to a company representative or recruiter to get the most up-to-date and accurate information. Third, all of the content and resources from this video, as well as tangentially related to this video, are posted on apm-summit.super.site. I know it's a mouthful. The link is in the description. You can go there. And lastly, if you weren't able to attend, but you want to get notified about future summits or other resources and tools to help you break into product, fill out the interest form in the description as well. During this video, I'm going to be referencing some slides that are publicly available. The slides not only have all of the content I will go over, but also deep dives on each of the programs represented. It's great content located at our website. You can go there and find them. So with that, let's get into it. So I want to start off by giving a bit of background on my journey to get into New Grad Rotational Product Program. I was born and raised in San Diego, and then I went to go to Brigham Young University and study information systems, which included a one-year master's in the same degree. I did a number of internships throughout my time at school, including PM internship at a seed round digital identity blockchain company, and then later at a YC-backed Series D SaaS company. And this is where I really started to decide, yeah, I want to do product. I then later actually started my own company with a couple co-founders, and we got into a student startup accelerated program. However, I knew I wanted to get a bit more structure around my career, and so I started looking at APM programs, and Capital One turned out to be a good fit for me, and I started there in the summer of 2022. Now I'm about to finish the program this month, and it's been a great experience. And recently, outside of work, I've been working on a side project, which is the product jobs board. I've used a number of different technologies to build that, and I posted about it on LinkedIn. I know some of you saw it and reached out to me, and some of the comments from students were, Drew, where's all the internships and the new grad positions on here? Well, the answer is that a lot of companies don't hire product entry level positions, and instead look to fill those with more experienced hires. However, there are APM programs which large companies sponsor, and that was why we wanted to come together to host the APM Summit today and give you more information about that. But I acknowledge that everyone's path is different. And I was looking at an article from Lenny Rachiski, which, if you don't know him, definitely recommend his podcast, Lenny's Podcast, which he hosts. It's one of the best product podcasts out there. And he's interviewed hundreds, if not thousands, of product managers. He condensed all of his research into an article where he writes about the four main paths to get into product. The one that we're going to be focusing on today is for junior PMs to join a large company. So, what are these APM programs? APM stands for Associate Product Manager, which is an entry-level product position at a company. Other programs are called RPMs, Rotational Product Manager. Some even changed a little bit more, like Capital One's is the Product Development Program. But naming aside, they're all very similar in the fact that they're sponsored by large software companies. The duration of the program lasts 1 to 3 years, and then usually you'll switch within the organization to different teams or different product lines 2 to 3 times. Some other callouts about the program structure is that usually ending the program is just a formality. You just then stay on your team or you integrate into another part of the business, but no need to apply for other internal or external jobs necessarily at that point. Some other things to keep in mind here about these programs is that the duration of the period is just the duration of the structured program. But after it ends, you can integrate into the business and stay on your team or join another team as any employee would. The cool thing about some of these programs is that there's extensive training, mentorship, and development as an early career professional and product. This typically happens at the beginning when you first join the company, as well as throughout your time in the program. And recruiters are specifically looking for students, so rising sophomores and juniors interested in product for the internship roles. And then for full time roles, rising seniors and sometimes master's students. The job applications are typically open July through December for these APM programs. And it's really important to stay on the ball however you can, because a lot of times these applications will open for a few days and then close. And so you'll want to go on the careers page, subscribe to updates for new grads, follow influencers on LinkedIn, however you can find out about these programs and make sure that you're one of the quickest to apply. All right, so now we're going to get to some questions. We had over 500 questions submitted for the summit. A lot of them were pretty similar, but I'm going to go over the 11 of my most favorite questions. First one, what is the number one thing that helped you get your APM role? Well, again, everyone's looking for the silver bullets. Tell me the skills that I need. The answer is there's no silver bullets. I know it probably is not a surprise. However, some general criteria for what recruiters are looking for are internships, for sure, internships specifically in product or technical internships, and then technical skills and or things on your resume that show you have a passion for technology. And thirdly, prove that you have leadership skills or have done something extracurricularly to take initiative. In products, you have to influence without authority. And so showing that you have communication leadership skills is really important to be able to come in and make an impact day one. What is one thing you wish for when you were trying to get into project management? All right, I just call this out because I got a few questions about project management, which is a great career, but it is different than product management. And so you'll want to understand the differences between them. There's a great Asana article that I linked here that you can take a look at if you want to have more information. Although one call out that I will say, most entry-level PM jobs do have a heavy dose of project management, including road mapping, running ceremonies, those sorts of things. And so that's something also to consider when you're looking at entry-level product roles. How much of being a PM is fluff and how much is actual skill? Great question. It probably depends on who you ask and how you define fluff, I'd say. For example, do you define communication and vision setting as fluff or skill, right? The other thing I'll call out, technical skills are often required to excel and perform in the product manager job family. However, you're not hands-on keyboard coding all day. What you're typically doing is trying to work with your engineers to understand technical constraints, to understand the pros and cons of particular technical solutions. And this will really give you the baseline that you need to be able to perform well in the role. Are you guys hiring? I love this question. I don't know who guys are in this case, but I know as a student, you just want to know all the jobs, give me all the opportunities. And what I can say is that all the programs that attended the summit, so those 12 companies are hiring as of July 2024 APMs for the next summer. Also, outside of these 12 companies, there's also plenty of companies that will hire new grads. And these companies could be startups, smaller tech companies, not traditionally tech companies, etc. So these roles will open anytime throughout the year, potentially up until graduation time. How do you ensure that people take you seriously, even if you may be young and less experienced than them? Really good question. I think this is important for every product manager going in, right? In school, you're the leader, you're the most experienced on campus. When you get into your first job as a PM, you're going to have a lot of responsibility, but basically know nothing. And so, the biggest piece of advice that I can give you is if you don't know something, say, I don't know, and then try to do your best to understand that, right? Be uncomfortable in ignorance and always be curious. This was something submitted by one of our students. I am pursuing a triple major in math, ECE, and finance. Wow, triple major. Never heard of that, to be honest, but awesome. I have some data science projects, participate in a couple of case competitions, hackathons, blockchain, etc., etc., etc. How can these problems help such an individual? I don't know the intent of the question, but honestly, this is really impressive. Although you don't have to do all the things, right? Um, I just want to make that clear. Like, it's important to show that you have passion in tech, and it's important that on your resume and in interviews, you can show that you went deep in a few areas and highlight those. So, the more the better, obviously, but make sure you go deep in areas as well as have breadth as needed. What are some more entry level friendly positions that can be a stepping stone for a career into PM? This is great because honestly, APM programs are hyper competitive. Okay, there's thousands of applicants and a mere couple hundred of positions each year if it's a good year, right? So it's going to come down to skill and experience plus some luck for sure in order to get an offer. As Lenny mentioned earlier, there's multiple ways into product. One great way, other than looking at non APM program entry level PM jobs like a startup, etc., can be getting an adjacent role to PM. So as I mentioned earlier, there aren't many product management majors. Whatever you're majoring in, go get a job in that works with product managers, whether it be a product designer, software engineer, project manager, data scientist, marketing experts, even a founder if you want to start your own company, etc. Working with a product manager will, one, help you understand what the role is like and whether you even want to do that, and two, you'll be able to start to collaborate with a PM and work on some of those skills and have something to talk about in your resume as well as in interviews. There's a lot of questions about who is eligible for specific APM programs, especially when it comes down to international students and if you're already in the workforce. Each program has different requirements. So you're going to want to talk to a recruiter specifically if the job posting hasn't already been posted. So, one thing I recommend to do is go to LinkedIn, in the search bar, type in the company name and then a keyword like recruiter, new grad recruiter, APM program, things like that, and see if you can find a recruiter and reach out to them. What is one trait you notice from the best PMs you've met? So, one thing I've seen from the best PMs, including my manager, who's great, shout out to my manager, always challenging the status quo and asking why, right? Asking why are customers taking this behavior? Why is this thing on the roadmap going to take so long? Why will help us understand what things are right now and then how to change them so that we can deliver more value for our team and company. Just always being intellectually curious. This framework, Start With Why, was actually made famous by Simon Sinek, who is a big thought leader in the community. He wrote a book about it, Start With Why. Highly recommend it. That, as well as other books, are in our resources on the website. If you had to choose one, which technical skill should I focus on perfecting if I want to be an APM? And I assume this question is tailored for non-technical majors, right? So if you have lots of time, recommend taking a coding class at your university or online. There's a lot of good courses, which we have linked on our website for classes. And work to do that class, build a full stack app, not necessarily for the point of like building a business from it, but just so that you understand how all the pieces of technical architecture fit together so that you can be technically smarter and be able to work with engineers. If you have some time, right? If you're a junior and you just want to get ready for internships and then hone your skills for next year, learn basic coding principles plus some SQL, then start to learn some technical architecture principles, and I'll explain those in a second. So now, third group, if you're cramming for interviews, at least just review some technical architecture principles. And let me explain what these are. So do you know what a database is? Do you know what an API is? Do you know what the user interface UI is? And do you know how all of these things come together and why they're important, right? These are important things to know because in your product cases and interviews, the recruiter and the hiring manager are going to ask you questions like define a customer problem, define a proposed solution. What would the high level technical architecture look like? And they're specifically looking for, do you know what you're talking about? And do you know what at a high level could be feasible to do this? Those are my recommendations. But if you have lots and lots of time, you can do what the triple major person did. And I hope it works out for you. All right. Lots of questions about how do I switch from a non-technical major, from CS, from marketing. The answer is all of us product managers are misfits. Right? Very few people study product management in school. In fact, I don't know if there's any product management degree in any undergrad. If there is, let me know. I know there's other boot camps and product schools and things like that, but let me know if there's an undergrad product management degree. Anyways, so everyone's switching. The key is to get internships if you can to learn how product works in an organization, right? And this doesn't need to be a PM internship at Google. Just get whatever you can. Get it a small startup. Get it at your uncle's company and see if you can be a PM for him. Right? Whatever you can do. If you have a job right now and you're not a PM, see if you can ask your manager about getting more PM-like responsibilities. So see if you can start talking to customers more and synthesizing customer pain points. See if you can start to set up a roadmap for what your team's going to work on and help prioritize those things. These are things that you could then tailor to your resume and recruiting experience. All right, so now we're going to jump into the resources portion of this video. Again, all of these resources are posted on our site and you'll be able to see them there. The first resource is the PM Social Club, and this is a great resource started and founded by Jacob Miller, one of our great APMs that came and participated in the summit. So it's based in San Francisco, and it's a social club for PMs, mostly entry-level PMs, to come to network, to go to social events together and have fun. If you're interested, fill out the interest form and you'll receive word from the organization. It's from Tyler from Zynga, one of our other great APMs. It's a Substack called Tyler Talks Product. On there, you'll find lots of great resources in how to get an APM position, from resume to recruiting and what it's like to be an APM. Next up is the Product Jobs Board. This is a resource that I created. It's an Airtable dashboard that you can get access to for free, and it refreshes daily by monitoring top product companies in the United States and is a specific job board for product manager postings. A page for early career jobs so that you can refine your search and find jobs that require less than 3 years of experience, as well as associate product manager positions and even internships. So as we go into the fall recruiting season, expect this to fill up. Come here, use it as a resource, and see all the jobs at top tech companies. Let me know what you think of it. The next resource is Peer Connect. This is an APM Summit specific resource, but anyone is welcome to join. So basically what's going to happen is you can opt in if you are a student aspiring to be a product manager by filling out a form, putting in your contact info and preferences, and then we'll match you with a peer at a different school with similar experience, and you'll be able to network, talk about tips and tricks, and be able to connect going forward. And lastly, just want to mention the coaching resources that we have. A lot of the APM hosts that came to the APM Summit are offering discounted coaching services for all students interested in getting a product job. And so some of the services that they're offering include resume reviews, interview prep, career mentoring. I would definitely recommend that you look into some of these services and invest in your future and help those who have already got a position help you get to where you want to be. Your future self will definitely thank you. And lastly, let's just do a quick overview of the programs. I will say that this content will be posted on the website. So if you want to go look at it more on your own time, feel free to do so. The programs that attended our summit and that we have information for are on the left-hand side. We have 12 great companies, although do want to call out that there are additional associate product manager rotational programs that were not included in our summit. So leading up to the event, we asked all students to fill out a form asking for what top 5 companies they would be interested in learning more about. And to no surprise, the top programs came out to be Google, LinkedIn, Salesforce, and then some of the more boutique programs are Yahoo, Palo Alto, and Zynga. So there really is an element here where you have to pick the right fit, right? Strike the balance between prestige of the program, your background and skills, and fit. And so you might have a better chance applying to a certain program than another person, and the fit really will help you set apart in a really competitive landscape. And here's a good infographic synthesizing all the information from the 12 programs that were in attendance. As you can see, all the programs have very competitive base salary for new grads coming out of school. Most offer internship, and most have application dates around early fall to December, January timeframe. And thank you once again. Want to highlight our great APMs. Again, if you want to connect with them and get coaching services, you can go on our website. And if you want to reach out to me, again, my name is Drew and would love to chat with you. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or send me an email. All of my contact info is on the site. Thanks for listening in. Good luck in your recruiting search. And to all you aspiring APMs, I wish you the best of luck.